Hey, this is truly Jacob, a writer. Again, this is my pen, writing, and media name. So if I ever write a book, I will probably be using this name, or public media stuff, I will be using this name. So we're going to do a review on the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But this is the Disney Pictures and Walden Media present. It's like the illustrated movie companion. It's done by Perry Moore, forwarded by Andrew and Adamson, where it's like they kind of give you a book of like, this is what we did behind the scenes, this is what happened with the children, this is what it took to have this movie come together. And so part of it was interesting, and then some stuff got boring, so I kind of like skimmed through it. But like I thought it was like interesting. So yeah. So basically the author, his main thing was, or like it was like I think it's called the producer or the director. Sorry, the director. I am not familiar with all the acting terminology and directors and whatever. So basically this, I think it's this guy here. And now the book is falling apart for some reason. Ugh. Okay, I think it's this guy here was the main person that was like, became the director, and he read the book as a child and he always wanted to do this book. He really loved this book. It's like a passion project for him. He didn't think he would ever be able to do it. So I thought like that was really, really interesting. And because he loved the book so much, he wanted to do this movie justice and stay accurate with the books for the most part. And so when I saw the movie in the movie theater, someone actually paid for me to go to the movie for me, which was it this one? Yes, it was this one. Like my first year in college. And then I chose to do another path of like a career and get like a massage therapy certification in New York State. So like, but I have some college behind me, but it's like someone paid for the whole group to like go see this movie, and they said it would be fun. And at the time, because I do have a Christian background, I was like, is it really okay to go see Chronicles of Narnia? I'm a Christian, there's witches in it. Because I grew up in a very conservative Christian environment, I was like, oh no, I could be sinning against God by watching this movie. Oh no. Like, am I sinning against God for watching this movie? And so, but like in high school, when I was going through the book series, when I read this book, I had this weird dream about the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, like some of the movie scenes. And then it was like I saw the movie, and I was like flabbergasted, because some of the images in that I saw in my dream were actually in the movie to a T, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on. So initially I thought like, well, maybe God gave me this dream to tell me that it was okay to watch it. Because C.S. Lewis, intention of writing this whole series was to kind of, I guess, kind of like show like a different path. Well, I don't know, it seemed like he took like the story of the Bible and he just put it in a different form, where you have like that conflict of good versus evil and God prevailing in the end. But like some Christians they get caught up in the whole like, no witches, no sorcery. And so they're like, this is bad, this is 100% bad, don't do it. And there, I've heard pastors get into symbolism of like different mythological creatures, and they're like, this means this and that's why it's really bad and you shouldn't watch this, and it opens the pathways to the devil. um, and I'm like, did C.S. Lewis have an ulterior motive when he wrote these books, that he didn't want to help bring kids closer to God in a fun way? Um, I don't, like, I'm really, really confused. Like, Christians are all over the place. They're not on the same page. Like, I've read the Bible, especially the King James Version, all the way through about like 6 times. And like, it never said anything about mythical creatures being evil or bad. It said, do not worship a false idol. So if you're watching a movie and you actually worship the creatures on the screen, then I would think it creates a problem. But like, there's nothing in the Bible that says if you watch a play that it's going to open the avenues of the devil to be able to get into you and you be demon possessed or harassed by demons. So it's like, follow the 10 commandments and follow the law and love your neighbor as yourself and do good to one another. And it says, do not eat food sacrificed to idols. So, like, the Bible's very vague and broad when it comes to like media. Is it okay to watch media? Is it not? The Bible does say, however, in Philippians 4:8, whatever thing is true, whatever thing is noble, think on these things, let it be of a good report. So I tried to do that for a time, and there were times where I was convicted, give up media, give up like fiction stories and stuff like that. But now I've come to the conclusion where it's like, well, when your faith in God is completely destroyed somehow and you're not sure of God's existence, I'm at the premise where it's like, I'm either atheist or agnostic. I'm not sure. I haven't fully concluded what I am. I'm one or the other. I think I'm open to there being a creator God, but God would have to prove him or herself face to face in person and demonstrate that they are God face to face in person. And when I talk to other Christians about that, they're like, I'm not okay with that. You're supposed to just have blind faith and believe that the Bible works and Jesus is God and everything. And I'm like, do you understand that in the past, I accepted Jesus as my personal savior and believed that they were God, and I was putting the armor of God on every day in prayer, and something, aliens or demons or evil individuals, were allowed to mess with me and attack me somehow until my faith was completely destroyed. So if Jesus is God, why did God allow my faith to be destroyed? So I'm an atheist or agnostic, and C.S. Lewis wrote these amazing stories in a fun way that like kind of go hand in hand with the Bible, in a fun way of like showing the conflict of between good and evil. So yeah, so I'm okay with reading stories that have good moral lessons. So that's what I do now, is I read different fictional stories, and I'm like, I try to find, what's the moral lesson out of this? How should we treat other people? What can we learn from this story? So these people, they sounded like they were very careful in who they picked to play the kids and everything. And they went to so many different schools. It sounded like in England or Wales or wherever, somewhere in Europe. And they wanted to make sure the kids could play the part. And so that's why like these 4 kids were chosen. And so it just showed like the behind the scenes stuff of like, man, it must be really hard to pick every single actor and actress for just one single movie. And it probably like that's also why they only did 2 movies. They skipped the first book, then they went to the second book, did the second book, skipped the third book, went directly to the 4th book, the Dawn Treader. And so it's like you didn't get the whole story of the Chronicles of Narnia in the media form. So I always thought it would be cool if someone took that time, like this person, the director who did this movie, I loved it. It was very action packed. I was really hoping that they would do at least all the other movies of all the books, or the majority of them. They probably could have took some of them out. I don't know. But it was like, and show the ending at the end where everyone ends up in Narnia and is saved. Some were saved and some are not, because they accept Aslan as their savior. So like it goes through the behind the scenes stuff and how the kids were having fun when they weren't working and stuff like that. So it sounded like for this project, Disney definitely treated their actors and actresses good. So because they weren't working 24/7. So so if you want to know more details of the behind the scenes and how the clothes are made, well, some of it and stuff, then it's like there was a lot of details, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I do not care about getting into every little detail, how every little thing on set was made. So it's like, what? But it was like an interesting book to read and skim through. I brought it to work and was reading it during my break in between massage therapy clients. So yeah, it was good. So I'm like, overall, that I did read this book, because it made me feel like maybe some people in Hollywood do treat their actors and actresses with decency and respect and want the kids to enjoy the experience. Because like in this book, they're like it sounded like the parents weren't uprooting their lives to go work on this film. The parents may have visited them like once or twice or something, but they mentioned how like, we're entrusting you to take care of our kids for however long the project is, and please treat them good. Like, so it's like they didn't have their parents. They might have contacted their friends via phone or something, or long distance, but it was like they didn't see their their normal friends for a certain length of time. They uprooted their lives. They sacrificed time with their families and their friends to be able to make this movie. The kids did. So it's like, it made me see things in a different perspective of like, oh, okay. Like like you can uproot a whole child's life if they end up having to do a long series. So maybe that's also why the director was like, I don't know if I want to do all the movies. It sounded like very tedious also to do all the movies. So yeah. So definitely interesting read. They go into like, yeah, also designing the background for stuff and different things too. So very interesting. I do not know how to do any of these, but the artwork is so detailed in this picture. It's like, man, I wish I could draw like that, but I can't draw like that at all. All I can draw is like stick figures. So amazing artwork. The details of this movie, loved watching it. Um, it, to me, when I watched the movie, it was like I felt like I could like picture myself living vicariously through Lucy or Susan and like being in Narnia, and it gave me that feel of like being there and wanting to go to like Narnia myself too. And that's what the director felt like when he read the books, and he was able to make that come to life and give you that feeling just by watching the film. So, like, that's why also I'm going through this series. So, here's an interesting thing too. There is a company, they do a radio drama version. It is put out by a Christian company. I'm actually thinking of ordering that at some point and giving a review on that. And going through the whole series. They actually do all of the books. Will I actually like it? Because the thing is, I like the voices of these characters. To me, like watching these movies, kind of like you have to be open-minded going in and hearing other voices of different actors that have done voice acting instead of real acting. Like, I would have loved the main characters to, like, of these children to be in the Christian radio drama version of it. But you can't always get the same people to do everything. So, but like to me, that would be like the ideal is write a book series, do a radio drama version or a audio drama version of the book, which is longer. Then you do a more condensed version of, like, if it is successful, then you do a shorter version, trying to put everything together in a different way where you show the story and you make it come alive, and you try to have everyone be able to relate to the characters on the screen. And so then you see like the more visual effects. So like, but ideally that would be awesome to have like a book where you can read it yourself, have like everything come alive by descriptive words in the book and make it interesting. Then you have the audio version drama where it's like people are acting with their voices, so you need voice inflection, and it's like in a ways it's easier because it's like no one has to know what you look like, so you can literally get anyone to play whatever voice. Like, so you're like really trying to like what's it called, get that project done. It's like, what voice do I want for this story for the audio version? And then you get like the actors. So like there's like 3 different ways of being able to do things and to like tell stories and entertain people and teach people moral lessons. So again, I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section below. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe to this video. Until next time.